Well, apparently there's trouble in the Democrat paradise.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Hi, it's Pastor Marty from the Afternoon Drive. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel. Smack the bell, click the word all to get notification of all of my rants. Ro Khanna, Democrat from California, went on Fox News and he said the obvious about Dianne Frankenstein.
Only in Washington would you get criticized for saying something so obvious. I have a lot of respect for Senator Feinstein, but she's missed 75% of votes this year. She hasn't been showing up, and she has no intention. We don't know if she's even going to show up. She has no return date. In contrast, Senator Fetterman has said that he's going to show back up on April 17th. So it's one thing to take medical leave and come back. It's another thing where you're just not doing the job. The reality here is there's the sense, well, you need to have a deference to these senators who've served so long. How about a deference to the American people? How about an expectation that if you sign up to do one of these jobs, you show up?
Dianne is the oldest member of Congress. There's some obvious cognitive issues there. Not going to draw any parallels between her and Joe Biden. I'm going to be nice. It's Monday. I'll be nice. We'll ease into the week before I just go for the slam in your face. 75% of the time, she's not there since announcing her retirement. Well, her staff announced her retirement. When she was asked about it, she forgot. She said, "We haven't made that decision." She was then reminded as the press conference was happening, "Yes, you did make your decision and we've announced it." And she's like, "Oh." So she hasn't been there since. Now, the issue is Dianne Feinstein serves on the Judiciary Committee. Now, that's a pretty big deal. She could get swapped out for somebody else, but of course the Republicans in the Senate, they're not going to let that happen. No, nay. No, she either has to resign and be properly replaced, or the Republicans are perfectly willing to sit back and watch the Democrats spin their wheels and able to get nowhere. One thing that Donald Trump did really, really well when he was president, he got a lot of judges through. He got his judicial nominees through. And it's the one thing that Mitch McConnell actually helped Donald Trump with, and that was getting justices into our courts. Right now, Joe Biden, he can't corrupt our courts, which is why I want you to think about, why are we hearing so much about Clarence Thomas? Why all of a sudden are they interested in some billionaire that provided Clarence Thomas with paid vacations? Is this ethical? Is this right? Was he buying influence with a Supreme Court justice? They still haven't shown us, even if all of this is true, how this played into anything that Clarence Thomas did as far as carrying out his duties and the decisions he made. But that all said, the reason they're going after Clarence Thomas, and they've been going after Clarence Thomas ever since he got confirmed. You know, the Me Too gang has tried to get rid of him. There have been, this trying to make Anita Hill out to be the patron saint of victims of powerful men. Although, again, never a shred of actual evidence was produced, just her testimony. And eventually, if they can get Clarence Thomas, we'll get reintroduced to the Brett Kavanaugh saga again.
You would get Balsy Ford in there crying because of the way she was traumatized by Brett Kavanaugh. She has to have 2 front doors to her house, and she's afraid to get on planes, even though she flies around the world to buy art.
Joe Biden is not going to get the opportunity to pick a Supreme Court justice. And they want to liberalize that court. It's the only way they get anything done. And so Thomas has got to go. This gives Biden the opportunity to pick a Supreme Court justice to replace him. But the other wicket here is they need Feinstein there to be on the Judiciary Committee to vote on these judges that they want to get through. So Shazam, Batman, they've got a problem. And they need her there because they're trying to push back on all of the gains that have been made regarding abortion. So what does Nancy Botox Pelosi say about all this?
I am Frau Blucher.
After you, Frau Blucher.
Please welcome the House Democratic leader and the first female Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
It's interesting to me. I don't know what political agendas are at work that are going after Senator Feinstein in that way. I've never seen them go after a man who was sick in the Senate in that way.
Yes, it's sexist to point out that Dianne Feinstein has dementia. She's really, 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 really old. She is completely incapable of showing up and performing the duties. It's because of sexism, because this would never happen to a man. I'm sorry, Ms. Pelosi. Are you not paying attention to what the vast majority of Americans are saying about Joe Biden? Even your colleagues are saying this about Joe Biden. You're not, because you're carrying his water. You're out there saying he is perfectly capable of serving. But by the way, I will say this. I don't understand why Fetterman is there. I didn't understand how Fetterman got elected to begin with. And yes, Pennsylvania, I'm looking at you. You elected a mental defective. And I'm sorry. I know that sounds cold and hard, but I am past having compassion on this. He never should have been elected to begin with. Many of us back during the back during the midterm elections were saying, Mr. Fetterman, you need to take care of you. You need to take care of you. You need to get over your stroke. You need to get strong. You need to get well. His wife wanted him there. The Democrat Party leaders wanted him there because they don't really care about the individual. They care about the machine. And so Fetterman was thrust on us. He cannot process conversation. He does not understand things that are being said to him, questions that are being asked, and yet we put him in there and said, hey, you vote on and you make decisions about things that you're not even understanding, but wink, wink, we'll tell you how to vote. Do you see how vile and corrupt the left really is? The Democrats have thrust Joe Biden on us, not because they think he's a great president. They know he is an empty shell, an empty suit, and the people behind the curtains, the real creators of the Wizard of Oz here, the people who you don't even know, I don't even know, whose faces we'll never see, they're the ones pulling the strings and making the decisions. This is how Democrats rule. They make these decisions and then they get the courts to legislate from the bench. And Dianne Feinstein not being there, not being able to vote and approve these justices, this is creating a real conundrum. And they think they're building some momentum here, trying to oust and impeach and get rid of Clarence Thomas to give Joe Biden a Supreme Court pick. This is why all of this is so important. Dianne Feinstein is not capable of fulfilling her role, but they're not going to oust her. Just like Joe Biden's really not capable. And there you have it.